Hey everyone, I'm Delia, the head of content here at Noble. I just thought I would walk you through essentially what you're looking at when you get your first mentions, and just talk you through what's going on here with all of the buttons and statuses, and hopefully it will answer all of your questions. So, first thing I want to point out, after you go onto your dashboard and click onto mentions, you'll see we have 13 that need our attention. So the first thing here to point out is these little colored labels on the left. Essentially, what this is showing you is where each mention sits in regards to our Noble score. So essentially, every mention sits in four different places, four different categories, I should say. Those would be standard, plus, premium, elite. Don't judge me, I wrote it down. So standard is this little purple logo here, which has a Noble score of 1 to 29. And then you have green, which is plus, which is 30 to 49. This is actually the most common. This is where most mentions sit. And then we have premium, which is orange, 50 to 69 Noble score. And then the highest would be this blue one, which is the elite mention, and that would be from 70 to 100. So, and when you click into each offer, it'll tell you the exact Noble score and tell you the price again, so you don't have to memorize it like I tried to and failed to do. Okay, now this little label here is just telling you that this mention is a reverse mention, as you can see here. A reverse mention is essentially when a publisher has agreed to mention your brand in exchange for you mentioning their brand on your website. So these are great because there's no additional cost, there's no publisher fee on top, but you do always pay the cost of the mention. So again, this is blue, so it sits under elite, and that is the higher end of the Noble score. Okay, something else to point out here on this page is this preferences button here. So if you just wanted to receive paid or reverse mentions, you could click one of these here. As we note, we recommend to receive both paid and reverse mention offers. This is the best way to improve your visibility, is by getting as many relevant mentions live as possible, and those sit in both paid and reverse mentions. But if you really wanted one or the other, we have that option here. Just know that reverse mentions have a slower turnaround time. Obviously, if there is a financial incentive for a publisher, they might move a little bit faster than simply just adding it onto their website. So just something to keep in mind. All right, so let's click into this top offer here. So as you can see on the right, like I mentioned, you will always see where it sits on the Noble score. So this one's green, sits, like I said, in our most common category, which is the plus category. Plus mentions are $200. And then on top of that, you pay the $150 publisher fee, which means that we will deduct $350 from your monthly mention budget. Now, you have 5 business days. You will have 5 business days after receiving the offer to review the mention. And it's pretty easy to review the content. You just want to click in here, and then you'll see this is the copy that we have drafted for you. And of course, you can go in and change it. And then down here, you'll see where we've actually figured out is the best place to put this content within the article. This is just to make it super easy for the publisher to slot it in. So make any changes here, update anything, and then you can press Save Changes. Now, some other things to look at here is if you want to read the article, you can click up here, or you can see the actual URL down here that you can copy paste. You can also see the prompts that this source is associated with. This is how we pulled this source, was through those prompts. You'll see down here again the content, and you can click this button as well to edit. And then down here, if you wanted to look at some more details, such as the domain authority of the site, article score, if you wanted to look at the conversation that we're having with the publisher in the background, any sort of history, if there was something that wasn't relevant to what your brand does, somehow a mention snuck in that wasn't quite right, you can request a review and we'll get back to you on that. Let's go back to some mention offers. Okay, so with this reverse mention, as you can see, you have the budget here. There's no publisher fee for a reverse mention, but you still pay for the Noble mention fee according to the Noble score. And essentially here, we've drafted the content for you, as always, as well as the positioning where we think it would work best. What we need from you is to actually submit the article here. So once it's gone live on your website, add the article URL here, submit the article, and then it says your mention is live now. Now, after you've done an action or the 5 business days have passed, meaning we push it through to the next stage, if you go back to mention offers, you will see, okay, so now this one has kicked into live, but let's say with that other first one where I made edits to the copy and then I press save changes, 5 business days have passed, you'll see that that would then move into in progress. And there's a couple different statuses here where maybe there was a dispute in review or it's in the process of going live. The publisher it's kicked over to the publisher side, or we're awaiting some sort of response from the publisher on a reverse mention, just to make sure that the copy is right or whatever it may be. You can see the progress of the mentions right here. And then again, you can see what's gone live here, and you can look at what's been declined over here. So that's really everything in terms of reviewing your mention offers. I hope that it's helpful. If you have any questions on this, leave me a comment below and I'll answer. We also have a ton of great resources on our website, on our blog, such as how to upload prompts, how to sort of know what good looks like when it comes to prompts, and how to upload brand guidelines as well. Those are 2 big things that you can control as a brand to help us do our job better. So the better the prompts, the better sources that we can surface, the better brand guidelines, the better copy that we can draft for you, and the less review time that you have on your end. So I will link the blog in the description box below so it's easy for you to find. I hope that this is helpful and that it's answered some of your, hopefully all of your questions. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.